Welcome to PMQ on this sunny Saturday afternoon, and welcome to the first design dialogue of a series that we're going to have alongside the Graphic Design in Japan 2022 exhibition that we have here. If you haven't visited it, I recommend you to do so after the dialogue. It's my pleasure to introduce Mr. Ruhei Nakadai from Japan, Vice Chairman of the International Committee of JAGDA. He's been working as an art director and designer for over 20 years, and he has extensive experience in design consultancy, identity, web, editorial, print, and packaging design. He graduated from Tama Art University in 2003, specializing in graphic design, and then worked as an art director in Tokyo at the advertising agency Hokuhodo. He moved to London in 2008 and earned an MA in design from Goldsmiths, University of London, and then he worked as a freelance designer for several different firms and then established his own studio, Anyhow, in 2012. He moved back to Japan in 2018, and he's now founder and director of River Limited. I quite like this quote from your website. We, along with our friends, want to use our skills to make the world a better place. I'm going to ask you more about that and inspire people around us to do the same. He's won a lot of awards, and I think he's going to show you some of his work. For example, a book he designed for Damien Hirst, and also a book he designed for Brian Eno's Light Music. So maybe we'll welcome Mr. Nakadai to give us an introduction. By the way, I'm Keith Tam from Hong Kong Design Institute.
Thank you very much. Thank you for PMQ to be invited me here, and also as the JAGDA. So we are really pleased to have exhibition in such a wonderful venue, and then I'm really excited to have this exhibition here. And so let me introduce myself first. A little bit shorter, and I'm creative director, art director, and also graphic designer. And maybe you cannot see my name in Chinese character, but like a Tsontai, is it right? Tsontai, and it's named Nakadai in Japanese. I graduated the Tama University, which is, coincidentally, the new Street Designers Award is from Tama University, and also the one he won the Yusaku Kamekura Award. He is the head of the professor now in the graphic design department at Tama University. And I went to the Hakuhodo, which is one of the biggest advertising agency in Japan, and did for 6 years at there. And also, the Takuya Onuki is also from the Hakuhodo. And also, if you are like Japanese graphic design scene, then you might know the Sato Kashiwa Sato. He also come from the Hakuhodo and then Tama University. So, quite, mainstream, I would say. But but I just quit after 5 years because it's too much. And to the UK. And the reason why I choose the UK is, I need to be like a good designer, and there's tons of good design studio, even small, doing the global work. So I just need to see what's going to happen there. So I went there and spent 10 years, then come back. So, okay. So a few examples from my work. So this is the book for Damien Hirst. So I designed whole book and cover and the inside, everything just me. Or too much. This is one awarded from JAGDA, which is the perfume packaging. The brand called Timothy Han. I think he's Hong Kong origin Hong Kong and Canadian. And he launched the brand, so I helped his packaging. Or these kind of the graphic for the brand, editorial and poster. Or I do these kind of, branding work for hospitality. Left one is the Japan House in London, and creative director for the Kenya Hara, and I work as an art director. And the middle one is the branding for like Turkey's luxury, not hotel, but because destination. So set up everything for graphic side or some hotel in Japan, or this commercial job I also doing for Apple a lot in Japan recently, the TV commercial or some graphic OOH or web banner or these editorial from Brian Eno or Thames and Harrison book for about Japan design. And the right one is for its Joy Division's photo book. So yeah, it's quite UK feeling. And also identity for, you don't know the Chow Hotel? Because I have never been. This is on the Hong Kong. Not Hong Kong, this is on Beijing. And yeah, I did the identity. Also these are the identity for gallery or magazine. Or these kind of really commercial. And that makes us eat every day. So good money, but it's quite hard work. Even like Uber Eats or Starbucks or Twitter. Yeah, Twitter is all gone because of Elon Musk. Take away the all marketing. So, yeah, this is the last one for this is the Hayward Gallery's digital archive. And I heard this archive is installed in Art Asia Center in Hong Kong, but haven't seen, so I don't know. But yeah, we made this archive. So let me talking about JAGDA. JAGDA is Japan Graphic Design Association, and it used to be Japan Graphic Designers Association, and we changed the designer to design because we want to kind of expand to invite the people, not just designer, but like editor or who related to work with design, graphic design. So yeah, kind of we expand, and also what JAGDA is what is for is we designer tend to be really weak position from the client or big power, so we kind of unite together to kind of say something to the government or more client or some more big power. So even this award itself is also our answer to the society. This is what we think good, and what designer or who related to designers think this is a good. So we are not just awarded, but this is the kind of question to the society or answer to the society. We are thinking this is right, and this is cool. Not cool, but not just cool, but this is right way to go in graphic design. So there's a vision, and it's it. But let's skip this one. So how we gonna select these awards is like this. So bunch of people, juries. So we select the jury from a democratic way to vote from the member. Member is 3,800 people around Japan. So the jury is just 20 people. So we voted who gonna be this year's jury, and the jury go and then see what all the artwork and then select, and then made a book for this. And yeah, soon we gonna have some exhibition about won the Kamekura Yusaku Award. So this exhibition is 2022. So the new one, 2023, is coming. And also, if you are a student here, we have International Student Poster Award. and deadline is July.
You still have a lot of time. So
Yeah, a lot of time to apply. So we have a lot quite famous jury, like Neville Brody from UK. So yeah, if you're interested in, please dig in the JAGDA homepage, and then you can reach the information, and then you can submit your work, and then you can get award. Then you exhibit here.
have you taken a picture of this yet, students? I know we have students
Yeah,
in the
so the
audience
theme
today.
is share. So you need to be kind of make some poster. What is a share for you or share? Yeah. So this is it for my introduction for JAGDA and me.
Thank you very much. I really admire how rigorous the selection process is for the awards. I think there's a lot of, if you look into the awards annual, it's explained in great detail how they arrive at the award-winning pieces. And I really admire how the association really takes it seriously, the advocacy of the graphic design as a profession in Japan. Because I think that's very needed, not only in Japan, but here in Hong Kong and in a lot of places too. And that brings us to the topic today, which Ryohei came up with, which is what is graphic design? I thought it was really a brilliant topic because it's so simple. We're coming back to the basics to understand what we are actually doing as graphic design, because graphic design is like air. We breathe it, we live it every day, we depend on it. But very often we are not aware that it exists. So I hope we can get some really interesting ideas going in today's discussions on the topic, what is graphic design? So let's start with the very beginning. I'm just very curious. How did you become aware there is such a thing as graphic design? When was that for you personally?
Graphic design, because I start graphic design because of I like drawing, and then I like painting to draw from the kids. So that is kind of coincident for me to kind of meet the graphic design. But my really early experience is weird, not weird, but interesting experience is when I was like a primary school, year 2 or year 3, I watching TV. And TV crew went to some primitive Amazon race. So they're gonna meet some people in Amazon. And they questioned to them. And then they gave them some card.
Yeah.
And the card say circle, red circle, and blue cross,
Okay.
which means in Japan, red circle means right, and blue cross means wrong or fail or I'm not. So no means no. So the crew passed that flip to the people, and they ask the question, and they answer with that flip. But the people doesn't really understand what's going on because they don't know the circle means yes,
Yeah, right.
and cross means no,
Yeah.
and what's the red mean? What is the blue mean? So,
Right.
and there's 3 different signatures there. There's a circle and red.
Yeah.
And so they don't really understand, that means yes. So they don't really understand why red. So there's no meaning in red.
Or even the piece of card, actually.
Sorry?
The piece of card itself is a manufactured product, and it has a meaning too.
Yeah. So I just realized, there's something going on here. You don't get right answer. One of the people just show the blue cloth because he thinks blue is nice. So it doesn't make sense. So that is kind of, the graphic design element there, so you can't communicate with that element because they can't understand what it is and that's mean but the other side of people knows already, and then that is already, in your mind, even you don't realize they don't understand.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a quite interesting moment for me to,
That's a really nice story. So that's when you realize symbols have to be learned, I guess, and it's specific to cultures. Because, when you talk to people about graphic design or visual language, a lot of people tend to think that it's universal. As long as we don't use, letters and characters, we are safe. We can communicate to aliens. But your observation was very intelligent. It doesn't work that way. So you realize there's a language going on. Huh?
Yeah.
But you started drawing since you were really young. But graphic design is still something a little bit different from drawing as a form of expression. How did you realize there was this distinction between drawing and design?
But drawing is quite similar with design because when you draw something, you kind of want to say, oh, this is nice part, or I like this, or I like that red color, I like the shape of the apple, or I don't know, but that is what drawing should be. You drawing what you like, drawing what you see, how to see. So, and design itself is also it's kind of communicate where is the good part and what is the right one, and that kind of thing is quite connected, I guess. So back to the Tama University, because even get in the uni, we kind of keep drawing. I not hate, but where's the design? And we just drawing. But
so the first year you mostly
first
did
2
drawing.
years.
First 2 years.
Because
Right.
even before getting the university, we learn a lot drawing. You have to learn drawing to get in.
In high school,
But
yeah.
after getting the university, still keep drawing. What's going on here? I'm doing this. I'm not designing anything. And so that's, and then year 3, you can kind of start something. Yeah.
So when did you decide that graphic design is what you wanted to do,
When? When?
and how?
Maybe because I want to be architecture. I want to be interior designer. I want to be textile designer in the first place. So you don't know what's graphic design in the first place in the beginning, but I just get in the university and I love the drawing. And maybe I'm good at doing that one. So I just get in. But first of all, I still want to be architecture. I want to be still textile designer. I want to design chair. And why people limit it? But still, I earn the money from graphic design, so I appreciate and I like.
Yeah. What is the most fascinating thing for you? I mean, you told a really interesting story about the Amazon tribes. What's the most fascinating thing? I mean, you've been practicing for 20 years about graphic design. That really, excites you.
I think graphic design is not like other design. Maybe I'm gonna talk later, but it's something different from other. So that makes me really interesting. So we're not making something. We make some, I don't know, what we are making. So, we're not making chair, we're not making house, we're not making clothes. So I just, start wondering what is the graphic design and why we are so interested in, and why so fascinated. That is fascinating part.
So the way we design a chair or an object is very tangible.
Yeah.
Our work as graphic designers, we start from a message, which is very intangible. It can be an idea, it can be some thoughts. How do you make that very intangible and elusive idea or message into something concrete? What is your process?
Process. I mean the process.
Because when, let's say, when you're given a project,
Yeah.
the criteria can be very vague. It doesn't have a form. How do you transform those abstract things into something that you can see, something you can touch, something you can?
Yeah, I think you can't make from scratch. Of course, so we know what they know, what we know. If we need to communicate to the other language, then we need to use other language. And then so the graphic design is really connected to the culture or humor or everyday life. So you need to kind of know who we're gonna tell. That's the first point. So we need to know who we're gonna tell, and then where are we gonna show that one. So that is the second point. So then, today, for example, I didn't know the screen size, so my point, text point is really small. That is fading. So that's kind of things, you need to know first point. Then, for example, if you want to show hot, then you need to use red. Not red, but similar kind of color. Because I'm just, start wondering, can we make really hot visual with blue color? That's just question, because there's no answer. And then opposite, can we really, make really cold world with red? And so that makes us explorer mind why we need to use this color. So we kind of using that, pre-perception, cognition stuff. Yeah,
because we've learned how to interact with different things in the world, and we kind of carry that experience with us when we're experiencing a piece of graphic, I guess. So it is a lot of it is actual direct sensation that you get from the wavelength of red, but the other one is also cultural, as you were saying about the Amazon tribes. Is cultural, it's learned, and it's not the same in every culture. Yes. Okay, let's go to the second part where we look at what graphic design is.
Yeah.
Graphic design is a term that we use quite generally, but we also have different terms like communication design or visual communication, or a lot of different areas that we look at now, like advertising or user experience. But what is the essence of graphic design? How do you define your field of practice?
It's not my advertising or branding area, but the more generic wise graphic design. What I'm thinking is we making really like non-real stuff. Let me explain. So when you design the poster for theater play, for example, you're gonna put some, this is theater play, or, the actor's name or actor's picture, where it's gonna happen, when it's gonna happen, those kind of information. So that is kind of communicating or some indication where it's gonna happen. So that
factual information.
Yeah. And then also you gonna do what kind of play gonna happen. So it's a serious one or a funny one, comedy. So you try to convey that information to the people. And that is, real or just indication, to the place or that play. And when the play happens, that poster is nothing. It's kind of rubbish. You can tear, or someone can tear and go some rubbish. And that's because there's real play there, and the poster is kind of fake, or not fake, but kind of tangible things from the play. You can touch the poster, you can own. But when the real play is happening, the poster is fade away because it's secondary stuff. And interesting thing is, after play finish, the poster is setting to the, reception, or you're gonna buy catalog, or you're gonna buy some goods with that play, or concert, or someone BTS concert or whatever. So, and that become the things because the real one is not happen, or more real one is disappear. So the what graphic design do is we making some represent, or we making some mirror of the things. So because there's no real one, then you can only touch, or you can only own is that one. And that is representing the real one. So that is what I think the graphic design is. So it's not just information, not just the message, but it's kind of representing something. Yeah, so, and then indicate to the place, just, so, yeah, it's kind of, you can say fake, but not fake, but it's almost real, but it's not real.
It's what representation means, really. It's represent.
Represent,
when something
yeah.
is not there, you need to use something else to be to stand it in its place. And that process is actually very difficult. It's not just, oh, I'm just showing the truth. There's no showing the truth, because everything is kind of manufactured by the designer. But the thing is, I think we've established that what we're creating is not real, is an illusion. Just like when photography was first invented, we thought it was really representing the reality, but in fact the medium actually can twist the reality quite a bit, because you have to frame, you have to select, you have to edit. There's so many things that you can do. But what can graphic designers do if we're trying to create illusions? We're trying to create magic. What other values can be put on top of factual information to make it more enriching, do you think?
And yeah, because, for example, the Coca-Cola's bottle is not the things you want, but that almost representing the liquid, and also the perfume, for example. Perfume is what you want to need is that liquid you smell, but the packaging and the bottle is look like real one, real perfume, but that is not perfume. Perfume is that liquid, but that representing the things. So yeah, that makes, of course, rich for the things. So yeah.
I think maybe we can get into advertising a little bit. I know you're not a practicing advertising designer, but it seems that we used to focus on the products, right? We used to have, images of the product, images of people enjoying the product, and now we're moving into a time where the product is no longer the most important thing, like what you're saying. What are we selling then? What are we trying to do with branding these days?
Yeah, its branding is like it's also representing the brand. And what's a brand? You can't touch, you can't own. What's a brand? So the branding is you make the things you can own, you can touch, you can feel, you can smell. So before doing branding, it's something not real or you can't perceive it. So, for example, the other side of the graphic design's power is perception. So you can perceive something, and before making brand, you can't see what it is, and it's like naming for we're gonna call this red fruits for apple, and then we kind of realize, this is apple. Before that, there's something red circle and sweet, and so that's kind of naming or is what the graphic design can do. So perception is quite powerful. So I don't really see these kind of discussion around the graphic design, but it's more design thinking is more toward to the kind of product design, because there's a function, there's a people, so people cannot hold the 200 degrees pan. That's why you need some the function for, or chairs is you need to, because there's a body. So there's kind of design thinking is toward the product, because it's like tend to easy to talk about. But the graphic design is more like a core of the people or perception, cognition stuff. So when you see or when you realize, you need to be something to realize or percept. So, and then that part, graphic design can kind of involved, or we can make something happen with the power of the graphic design.
Well, I guess the functional aspects of graphic design is whether people can perceive what you want them to perceive, or whether they can understand, and ultimately whether they take any actions of what you do. Say, did they buy a ticket to go to the theater to watch the movie? Is there anything beyond that as functions? Because you were saying after the theater show, the value goes up.
Yes. Maybe, the first Woodstock music poster gonna be like a fortune, That because there's no real Woodstock music anymore. Right. And the people kind of buying because that only represent the things. Yeah, and then the value gonna go up.
I guess we are getting into the cultural or social dimension of design in terms of ownership, value, and cultural meaning, I guess, even beyond the life of the thing that we were trying to represent, I guess. Yeah. We got a little bit into comparing graphic design with like furniture design and product design. Do you find it difficult to articulate the value or the contributions of graphic design to clients in general, or to government? Articulate the value or the contributions of graphic design, which is more intangible than something like a chair or architecture.
People already realize the power of the graphic design, but the thing is, everyone can do now. The making film, making logotype, so it's so popular and democratic now, and this is good side and bad side. So, yeah, of course, I think we are not anymore making things only people, but everyone can, like a photographer, like everyone can shoot, everyone can TikTok, and so why the photographer is still there? But because there's some profession there, and graphic design as well. So it's because I'm teaching in university in Japan, and it's quite obvious differences with professional graphic designer and then student. Even then, they tend to be professional, but still really huge differences. So yeah.
Some people can't tell the difference. What do you do then?
Some
people cannot tell the difference.
Oh yeah.
What
so
do we do?
that I don't know. They might. I believe they can, and also the AI can. AI can do everything what we do. So I don't know what's going to happen after AI. But I'm still, positive way to do, because we are not just making. We are making perception. We are making, the representing something. So, of course, AI can make things, but we need to make perception for something, and that is maybe they can do. I don't know.
Well, the thing is, with deep learning, they can learn very quickly of what works for people's perception and what doesn't work. Do you think we can collaborate with AI in some sort of way to make better design?
Yeah. We should. We need to, because I really love shogi, which is Japanese kind of chess. And then, the AI is way stronger than the professional chess player. But even that, we watching the men's match. And there's no reason, because, AI is much stronger. And then maybe and then the stronger professional chess player is working with AI.
Yeah.
So you need to work with AI, definitely, for graphic design, I think. So you don't need to against, some old chess player against the AI, and that fail. You need to kind of work together, and then, they work hard and we work hard, and then that makes life easier, and then world better, I guess.
We weren't actually planning to get into AI, but it kind of went there naturally. But I'm just curious, because AI or the computer deep learning, they can do a lot of things. What would be the tasks that you absolutely don't like doing as graphic designer that you want AI to be able to do for you?
I don't know AI, or I don't know I'm answering a question, but we are getting in some more digital world, and so we're gonna have what was called the goggles.
VR.
Yeah, VR goggles, and there's that kind of world is expanding now.
Yeah.
And then we need to kind of sort out, graphic designer have to need to sort out these kind of world, because that is another world, and the graphic designer have to sort out or make that world better.
Yeah.
And that is what the graphic designer need to do from now to kind of make that world better.
Like, are you talking about metaverse or virtual
metaverse
reality?
or whatever, and even not metaverse, even in digital world, we need to kind of more things need to do as a graphic designer, because now some graphic designer and some engineer doing now. So it kind of, there's no answer. There's still struggling doing. So I think that is quite interesting seeing there, I guess. Yeah.
I agree with you. The navigation, the user interface, the experience, the aesthetics, all of these things are not really explored yet.
No,
I guess.
no,
Yeah. Right. Let's move on to the idea of graphic language. Going back to graphic language or visual language, going back to, the Amazon tribe, I was intrigued by your story. What do we really mean by visual language or graphic language? How do you understand this?
I like to tell this story, which is there's something which missing to be language or word. So there's a word, apple or mic or people, but something is missing. Something cannot be a word. And that is so interesting theory, and then that's real. So I think, yeah, that's right. Because something is, for example, the UK, gray pigeon say pigeon, and white pigeon say dove.
Dove, yeah.
But we call pigeon, even the gray or, but they differentiate. So there's a language, so you distinguish two, even one, or, there's something we missing already. So the visual language is, for example, the Chinese character, the horse becoming horse, that is from the visual to the language or character.
Pictographic.
Yeah, graphically, yes. But yeah, I really like we kind of looking for something missing to be language, but yeah.
Right. So something on top of words, beyond words.
Yes.
That you cannot communicate through words only.
That's kind of area the visual language or can explore. And yeah, I think, for example, that exit mark is quite strong.
Which one?
Exit is like a emergency exit.
Emergency exit, right. Okay.
Yeah, that is quite strong visual language. And then, yeah, that can be some language. And one thing I really like is emoji.
Emoji, yeah.
Emoji.
Right.
Emoji is, that can be Chinese character, That can be.
Yeah, right. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So that idea is quite, unique because you don't need to be like that face, the yellow face, and that can be like a, like square and then like a new Chinese character representing that, and so the emoji is quite strong visual language, but that can become the words.
Right. So the other way around. Words became emoji and emoji became characters again.
Yeah, so...
Well, Chinese characters are by nature emojis, I think you can say. A lot of them.
we don't need to stop with emoji. We can develop emoji to the Chinese character.
Well, I think there's some parallel with iconography in web and app and things like that as well. There's a similarity, I guess. There's some parallels. Let's move into talking a little bit more about culture. You're Japanese, you're from Japan. You studied in Japan, you practiced in Japan, but you spent 10 years in the UK. How has that influenced your thinking and your approach to graphic design?
Yeah. In Tama Art University, I learned for 4 years is really care about outcome and only that outcome. So we, I would say. But yeah, they really care what's your strong point and what is differentiates the others? What is your outcome look like? And that they compare you and your friend, and they kind of push to the edge to do something great, or So that is I don't know. It's not maybe because of Tama, maybe other universities different language they're using, but Tama is quite strong. Stick with the outcome. And the other hand, I went to the Goldsmiths, other hand, in UK, London, MA. I might think that is because of MA or because of the Goldsmiths.
I think it could have been, yeah. But Goldsmiths, yeah, definitely.
Goldsmiths is quite theory-based college. So, they are all opposite side. They like why you make, how you make. Before, getting the Goldsmiths at the time, they usually say design change world. 2010. At that time, nowadays we can say, oh, design can change the world, easily. But at that time, I just thought, really?
Well, you put that on your website, so you better believe it.
Yeah, design change world, really? And they are really serious. Oh, yes. And then I learned, because if I say, iPhone is design, and then, iPhone change the world, of course, and then the design change of human.
Well, for the better or for the worse, though, that's the thing, right? It doesn't say.
Yeah. So I kind of understand in the product design way, but that's happening in graphic design as well. So if you change the perception for the people, you change what, and then also, as I said, in the digital world, if you change I want to say UI for here, but it's more dynamic things you change, and that change the world. So yeah, of course. So the Goldsmith is different. So I learned the concept side and theory side. And the other hand, Tama is more towards the outcome, how that quality gonna go up, that stuff. So, I saw totally different world for education side. And
so, did you choose Goldsmiths for that, for the critical approach or theoretical approach to design?
Yes and no, and yes for if you have some good designer you have, the design need to be like the final need to be kind of top edge, but the also the concept side, theory side, or discussion toward the people or team is really key for now. So there's someone you have to finish. So if you're a finisher, then it's okay. But if you are a thinker or beginner, then you kind of start from, Goldsmith's way, I guess. Yeah.
But you're obviously a practitioner.
Yeah.
But so after Goldsmiths, after spending 10 years in the UK, has there been any kind of reverse culture shock when you went back to Japan in terms of your design approach or design philosophy? You went back in 2018, right?
Yeah.
2018, yeah. So was there any reverse culture shock in a way?
I think
your approach?
Yeah. I think, reverse approach. Yeah, there's a lot of things. But still, when I came back to Tokyo, and I felt I call they doing same stuff from 10 years ago. So, that is, shocked. Yeah. And there's different worlds, different design style, because, for software side, Japanese graphic designer not tend to use the InDesign, which means there's no grid.
So they use Illustrator
Illustrator.
for publications.
Yeah, so I think 90% of this exhibition
Oh, I see.
is designed by Illustrator.
I totally get what you're trying to say. Yeah.
Yeah. But in other side, England and London,
Yeah.
the 99% things is designed by InDesign.
Yeah.
So there's a grid and then,
Yeah.
vertically, horizontally. So it's just easy to kind of, they're accurate.
Yeah.
And Japan's design is more like a fuzzy. There's no grid because, so you kind of blurred and you can't sit quite. But I would say it's precise. Not accurate, but precise.
Not accurate, but precise. Let me think.
It's more the master putting something on.
But less as I think maybe I'm trying to get at what you're trying to say. Less of a system, but there's a coherence on an individual
I guess so.
basis.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Interesting. I feel the same in Hong Kong as well.
Oh, which one?
The Japanese one.
Okay, I see.
The less systems.
Yes.
Less thinking in terms of systems.
Yeah.
But I actually think that graphic design is important thinking systems.
Yeah. So before go to the, London, I thought InDesign is for editorial,
Right, yeah.
But there's, even like a business card, they doing with InDesign with grid, So it's so accurate. Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay, so we've planned to talk about those topics. Let's see what you want Mr. Nakadai to talk about. Do you have any questions or comments about what we discussed? Yeah.
Thank you. And first of all, thanks for the sharing today. And I really liked when you talk about the cultural differences between Japan and UK. And because I'm currently running my own design studio in mainland China, and I want to ask you about what's the difference, like the industry rules between UK and Japan? Are there any, is the character of the clients are different? And what makes you feel most shocked about? Thank you.
The client side is, I feel some differences there. And I think because of the, UK have, in education era, they have class, the subject called design and technology. So even the client kind of understanding what is design. And
In secondary school. Yeah. Design technology. I went through that too.
So it's more kind of respect the designer. So there's kind of freedom or kind of, and also responsibility on designer. And the other side of Japan is more, sometimes designer becomes the operator, doing that, or doing that. So, some client is not, but some client is still. So that is kind of differences between them. So, and more in designer side, I think they have responsibility as own, and Japan is designer is just like a hand, or you do that. Right. It's more like at the director's hand. Yeah, so that is differences. Is it what you want? No, what?
Okay. Yep.
Hi, thanks for sharing. And I just got a question on my mind, how to deal with difficult clients in your life so far? How to
For
overcome
example,
the
clients
challenge
that
and
treat
move
you
forward?
like hell.
If I shouldn't say this one, but I just follow what they say, and okay. There's some clients, those kind of client, and I try my best in that area, but still, because there's a reason they say, so, and then I don't know that reason, maybe, so, yeah, so maybe I just follow what they say, but I don't recommend that one. I don't, yeah, if you are really good designer, then you need to kind of say what you say. And the normal client, I say something, and also the client is waiting to kind of against from the designer, because they are not 100% sure what they say. So there's kind of room you can kind of convince to them. So if you feel something, then you should say, but that's not achieved, then
Can I chip in for this? Sometimes when clients, they're not necessarily just trying to be difficult, I think. They want to tell you something, and they want to kind of say it. They want to say it with the graphic design language that they expect you to know. But very often we don't like that, because you can tell me what your problem is. I can find a graphical solution for you. So maybe you need to think a little bit beyond what they're trying to say. Oh, they want to make this red. Why? Is it because of your target audience, the message you're trying to convey? And then we can find a solution together, rather than the client telling you exactly what to do, right? I don't know.
yeah. And I always believe, the good thing is selected, and maybe selected is good one, maybe.
Yeah.
So yeah, if the client is choosing and they like it, then that's it. That's the good one, I think. And yeah.
Do we have 2 more minutes? Do you have questions? Yeah.
Hello, I'm Winky. Thank you for your sharing just now. So you've just mentioned some cultural design difference between Japan and UK, and I'm currently planning for some further education between both choices. Which one would you recommend for like a master degree?
Master?
Yes.
Yeah, I think go UK.
Why?
Graphic design?
Communication or
Communication
graphics?
design.
Yeah, I think, yeah. For my personal answer is, yeah, go. I think good to be go UK. Yeah.
I've also studied my master's degree in the UK.
But I really adore some graphic design from Japan, and yes, I'm also planning for some Japan education, but further from UK. But I'm also struggling between the 2 options.
You need to know Japanese, though, right? To study for a master's degree in Japan, you need to know Japanese.
Yes, for sure, some, yes. You need to communicate with the professor with Japanese. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, if there are no more questions, that's all we have time for today. So there's one more? There's one more, okay. All right.
Hi, I'm Howard. First of all, I would like to thank you for your nice sharing. I think graphic design in Japan has a very strong visual style or symbols that makes audience from other parts of the world can recognize, oh yeah, that's a design from Japan. But do you think there are any elements of graphic design in Hong Kong that impress you or makes you feel, oh, that's signature, such as those you saw on the outdoor advertisement, the street signs, or the posters in the city? Yeah. What is your impressions to graphic design in Hong Kong?
Your impression of graphic design in Hong Kong?
Yeah, I think it's quite energetic, and because the design is also quite influenced by the culture, people, language, humor. So I felt really power from the. Yeah, of course, there's a really sophisticated, but also, there's some younger power in Hong Kong graphic design, I think. Yeah.
I think in Hong Kong, I don't know if I should say it, but it's more, advertising is more pervasive and obvious in Hong Kong. Graphic design, you really need to dig deeper to see the good things, I guess. I mean. Give a round of applause to Mr. Nakadai. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much.